Big 12 Sound Roundup.
Check 1, 2.
The best bites, cheap shots, and excuses from Saturday's postgame news conferences.
If you weren't awake on this Sunday morning, that sound will get you going. It's the Sound Roundup. Big 12 Sound Roundup here on First and 12. Mitch Harper, Alex Kirry, and it's brought to you by Macy's Grocery Store. Happy shopping. So much to get to in this week. Man, the characters, the personalities in the Big 12 make this league so much fun, and none bigger than Coach Prime. And he made it clear, Alex, that Travis Hunter, well, he locked up that Heisman.
I think Travis clinched the Heisman with his performance. I think he made a lot of people aware of how ignorant that was with the Thorpe. His performance today, what he had, 3 touchdowns, 100 yards, and an interception. And 2 passes broken up. He should have had another pick. Hit him right in the darn chest. I'm not happy about that, but I'm happy with him.
Yeah. Coach Prime has his thoughts about it. Is really the Jim Thorpe Award, is that the one that you're that worried about? And by the way, you didn't make a very good argument for it. It's for the best DB in the land, and you go, he got 3 touchdowns on offense. It's like, well, they're asking you about this. Look, I get it. It's fine. I think he's probably going to win the Heisman Trophy. Let's be happy with that. No one's really thinking about the Jim Thorpe Award. Then there's Joey McGuire, a guy who Coach Prime actually does know his name because, of course, of the ties that he had to recruiting his son out of high school. And here's what he said. Joey McGuire, by the way, the head coach of Texas Tech, here's what he said, ripping on the College Football Playoff Committee.
Man, I think the narrative of college football right now is really screwed up, and I'm gonna kind of talk about that. It comes down to a patch, I guess, that's on your jersey, because stick with me. If Texas wins the SEC, that means a Big 12 team from last year won the SEC. If Oregon wins the Big 10, that means a Pac-12 team won the Big 10. And if Arizona State, not whoever's playing, but Arizona State's got a chance to play in the Big 12 championship, so that means a Pac-12 team won the Big 12. And then if SMU wins the ACC, that means an American team won the ACC. So I think it's absolutely embarrassing what this football committee and, we got to back up what we need to do on the field so they get pissed off at me. But it's absolutely embarrassing what they're doing to this conference. And if they look at it that way and they sit there and say, who's playing the best football, who's the most competitive conference, who week in and week out, what you see on tape, and the games that you got to play, I think the Big 12 should be in. The Big 12 champion should be in the Final Four, right? And then when teams are talking about multiple teams, depending on who plays in that game, they should have multiple teams. I think it's absolutely ridiculous what is happening at that level, at that committee, and just go back and think about that. I guess whenever you're a year away and you just change your patch on your jersey, that it actually means something, that you're in a different conference, and that conference is all powerful.
He's dead
Great
right,
stuff.
Mitch.
Well said,
Yeah,
Joey McGuire. Thank you. Well said, Joey.
He's dead right, and on top of it, I think you might see some changes. And you know what's not going to happen? The SEC is not going to add a ninth conference game. And you know what? You should do exactly what Chris Kleiman, the head coach of Kansas State, said this week at his press conference. We got to go to these Big 12 meetings this year, and we got to have this discussion, because you cannot have this problem at the top of the Big 12. Part of it is that all these teams are good enough that they're beating each other. And so it's easy for the college football playoff to go, well, you're not good enough because you have these 2 and 3 loss teams. But the 2 and 3 loss teams in the SEC and the Big 10, of course, get the pass. All right, how about take a listen to who will likely be the coach of the year in the Big 12 Conference. At least he would have my vote. Kenny Dillingham, Arizona State University, and the insane year that they've had. Here was his final podium of their final regular season game.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like we said, it's the bragging rights. I got sent probably 4 or 5 different text messages from buddies driving down here to watch the game, and in their car are ASU and U of A fans, right? Because that's how close this rivalry is. It's in your own backyard. And that's why it means so much, because it's playing somebody that you live every day next to. And you're either going to hear them say something about the game, or you get to say something about the game for a year straight. So absolutely incredible accomplishment by our guys to go from what we did last year I can't remember the score, like 54-21, is that right? Close to what we did this year is one of the most, it's remarkable the turnaround that those guys and that leadership and that group has been able to do in 1 year. And it's a special group, and we should all cherish it.
That has to be the first time, Alex, I've heard from a head coach. I got a few texts from some buddies. That is 34-year-old Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah,
and that is him in his purest form. But good stuff there, and congrats to Arizona State because it's well deserved. They are playing some excellent football right now, and they are on fire. They are playing outstanding. They dominated Arizona, and they got everything in front of them going into Arlington next week. We got to take a timeout though. On the other side, we'll get to the Utah game breakdown. What happened in Orlando on Black Friday. This show brought to you by Macy's Grocery Store. Get the freshest fruits and vegetables from local farms and your local favorite brands. Macy's, happy shopping. More First and 12 next here on KSL News Radio and the KSL Sports Zone.